Thank you for listening to Shulchanaruchharav.com.
Killing or trapping stinging flying insects on Shabbos, such as mosquitoes, bees, wasps, hornets, and the like. You're sitting with your family, friends, guests on your Shabbos table, and in comes a very uninvited guest, such as a bee, a wasp, or even a hornet, which can cause all pandemonium to break loose. People get scared, the children start crying, the women start screaming, sometimes also the men. An occurrence most common specifically in the spring and summer months, when all of these flying and unwelcome creatures come into our homes. And the question therefore is quite pertinent as to what can be done about the situation. Is a brave man allowed to come and cover or swap and kill this threatening creature? So before we begin the discussion in specifics to a bee, wasp, and hornet and the like, we will discuss the general law of killing on Shabbos or trapping on Shabbos, its prohibitions and cases of allowance. So two of the Lametes Malachis include killing any living creature on earth and trapping any living creature on earth. It's forbidden to kill on Shabbos or trap on Shabbos. This is a biblical prohibition, although there are various criteria that must be fulfilled for it to be considered biblical, but nonetheless, even with lack of all the detailed fulfillments, it would nonetheless be rabbinical. So in general, it is always forbidden to kill or trap a creature on Shabbos for whatever reason, due to either a biblical or at least rabbinical prohibition. However, if the creature in question which you would like to kill or trap is an existing potential threat towards humans, towards other Jews, towards yourself, then in certain cases it is permitted to take action into your own hand and kill or trap the creature. What are those cases? So as a preface, we'll already clarify now that regarding trapping the creature versus and in contrast to killing it, we find greater leniencies than we do for killing. And the reason is because in order for trapping of a creature to be a biblical prohibition on Shabbos, you need to fulfill several criteria, as opposed to killing, in which there's much less criteria necessary for it to become biblical. So let us begin. If the creature in question is posing a definitively threat of human life, such as lethal poisonous snakes and scorpions, then it is permitted to be trapped and killed, as regarding pikuach nefesh, it pushes off the whole Torah, including the Shabbos biblical prohibitions. So that's clear that killing and trapping in such a case is mutter. However, if it does not for certain have ability to kill a human being, then we already begin to find differentiations between trapping and killing. Regarding trapping, the rule is that even if the creature does not pose a possible threat of human life, we know for sure its bite and sting is not lethal. However, its bite and sting causes bodily injury, then in such a case, the sages allowed you to trap the creature on Shabbos by covering the creature and matters of the like. However, to kill the creature in such a case is not so simple. And the final ruling on this matter, which is under debate, is as follows. If the creature is chasing after you, is literally threatening you, then even if it doesn't cause potential death, but at least can cause bodily injury, you're allowed to kill it. However, if it's not chasing after you, then it's forbidden to kill it in the normal way, and you have to kill it indiscreetly, such as through casually walking over them by mistake. So it's not noticeable to people that you tried to kill it. But to kill it in a normal method, to go and stomp on it, is forbidden. And even in the casual method, some poskim are machmir, and every meticulous person should refrain from killing them. If they're not chasing after him, they don't pose a real threat to other people in the vicinity. Nonetheless, one of the main points we want to conclude from this introduction is that the definition of a creature posing a threat, hence allowing trapping or killing, has a bar and a limit. And that is, it must at the very least pose a threat of injury of the body. However, writes the Alter Rebbe, if it only poses a threat of mere pain, such as a painful sting, but will not cause bodily injury, it's not something that will take the limb weeks to recover, it's just a bit painful, then you're not allowed to kill it or even trap it on Shabbos, with exception to if it's already in the midst of a sting or is on your skin, in which case you're allowed to grab it with your fingers, which is called trapping, and get rid of it, although you still can't kill it or squeeze it or squash it. So now that we have the introduction clear, let's now analyze this to our example of our chaotic Shabbos table, which was so beautiful just moments ago, and became disturbed due to a nasty-looking hornet or bee or wasp and the like. Practically, can I trap it? Can I kill it? Yes or no? So under normal circumstances, it is forbidden to kill or even trap stinging flying insects such as mosquitoes, bees, wasps, hornets, yellow jackets, and the like, even if your intent of doing so is to prevent a sting. And the reason is based what we already introduced, that in order to be allowed to kill or trap, it must at the very least pose a threat of bodily injury and not just a painful sting. Thus, while we don't like the stings of mosquitoes, bees, hornets, and yellow jackets and wasps, nonetheless they aren't a threat of bodily injury in normal circumstances. This is the position of the Alter Rebbe and other poskim, although there are some, such as Shmir Shabbos Kilchasa, who learn from the Mishnah Berurah that possibly, if it gives a very painful sting, then we can equate it to bodily injury and it's mutter to trap them. However, this is not the mainstream approach, as the Rambam, the Alter Rebbe, and other poskim explicitly write that a wasp may not be trapped as it just causes pain and not bodily injury. So they explicitly negate this understanding. And thus even to simply cover the wasp with a cup would be forbidden. However, there are a few cases of exception in which it is permitted and even encouraged to trap or kill these insects, and they are as follows. If someone in the vicinity is allergic to the sting of one of these flying creatures, and depending on the type of allergy, it could be trapped or possibly even killed. If it's lethal, then you can kill it, and it's a mitzvah to do so, if the person has a lethal allergy to it. If it's not a lethal allergy, but at the very least it causes this individual bodily injury, then once again would follow the above rules that trapping is permitted and even killing is permitted if it's chasing after you. And even if it's not, to stop it casually, indiscreetly, one may be lenient to do, as we explained. However, if you're not aware that you or anyone else has an allergy to these flying creatures, then even though they look scary and you don't know and you're scared, maybe you're allergic, it's forbidden to trap them or kill them on the basis that maybe I'm allergic, I don't know. As the vast majority of people are not allergic. And this applies even if there are babies and infants in the vicinity, as according to modern medical science and directive, there is no threat of bodily injury or threat of life to an infant if they get stung by a bee or hornet or wasp. You don't even have to go to the doctor. You can do self-help at home, unless you see an allergic reaction, in which case you go to the doctor. And if that's been already determined, then you can kill or at the very least trap the flying insect in front of this baby. Not because they're a baby, but because it's been established that they have an allergy, sensitivity. The same would apply regarding if this flying insect is carrying a possibly dangerous disease that can cause bodily injury or death, chas v'shalom, in which case it is mutter to trap and even kill them. So in those areas in which mosquitoes are carrying the Zika virus, which is deadly for certain populations, such as pregnant women, then it's a mutter to kill these mosquitoes in the vicinity of a pregnant woman, in areas that they are suspected of carrying the disease. Nonetheless, outside of these exceptions, it would be forbidden to trap the insects, the hornets, wasps, and bees, etc., even though they are causing panic in the area. However, we find a very interesting heter recorded in the name of Rav Yashiv and other Peiskei Dereinu, that in a case that it's causing pandemonium, hysteria, and panic, especially to women and children, then that is similar to bodily injury, and you have the ability to trap the insect, not kill, but to trap it. Practically, while this ruling is a great novelty, one who is lenient to do so by covering with a cup and the like and then transferring outside has upon whom to rely. As some poskim hold that by flying insects, it's never considered trapping, as soon as you lift the trap, they fly away, so you never trapped it. And even though we don't rule this way, there's room to be lenient in such a situation to prevent a panic and pandemonium, but nonetheless the pshat of halacha is that it cannot be trapped. So to summarize, can you get rid of, trap, or kill the bees, wasp, hornet, etc.? The answer is no, unless someone is allergic to it in the area, or it's carrying a potential deadly disease, or disease that threatens bodily injury. And some poskim allow one to trap it in a case that it's causing panic and hysteria, in which case you can cover with a cup and let it go outside and fly away. Although from the simple pshat and poskim, this too is forbidden.
Thank you for listening to Shulchanaruchharav.com. Our free services of making Torah knowledge available to the public depends on donors like you. Please help us continue our work through making even a small contribution at Shulchanaruchharav.com under the Daily Halacha Dedication section or in the subscription page. Also, check out our online courses and many sefarim available for purchase that will both enhance your Torah knowledge and help support our work.